Welcome to this post-result review session for June 24 attempt. This is Rizwan Mania. I welcome you all to this post-result review session once again, which we always conduct, and we have seen lot of students do take help from these sessions, not just in live way. In fact, once we upload the recordings of that on our official YouTube channel. So I welcome the entire faculty of VIFHE as well, who is also with me today for this important post-result review session. And with me is my co-host for today's session, as always, Sir Hassan Dosani. So yes, Sir Hassan, how are you? Can you hear me?
Hi, everybody. Yes, Sir Rizwan, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, great. So, Sir Hassan will be with me, and we will be conducting this session together. And once again, congratulations to all the students who managed to pass in June 24 attempt. I just want to share some stats with you people. Approximately 107,000 students appeared in this June sitting, and they have completed approximately 124,000 exams. Now, out of those, the most lucky ones who became basically affiliates, I would say. So, and the one who passed their exams as well. So, it was 4,559 students who have completed all their exams and they became affiliates. So, the affiliate number is 4,559 who became affiliates. So, congratulations to all those students and also those who are not affiliates but they have managed to pass their exams. Those students who uh, haven't passed their exam, so we know that it is a big disappointment, and people, do get disheartened a lot. But yes, we have to remember at the end of the day, it's a professional qualification, it's a professional examination. Considering all those things, this is part and parcel of life. I'm not saying, I'm not encouraging people that they should fail, but yes, failure is not a failure if you learn from it. So you have to learn from your mistakes. And if you learn from your mistakes, definitely not this attempt, the upcoming September attempt or December, whenever you will appear for the exams, will be your attempt and you will easily pass. So don't be demotivated. Just continue with the hard work. Yeah, but it's very important to change your strategy a bit. Last time if you were doing with some other strategy, but now you have to change the strategy because that is where the change will come. That is where you will be able to figure it out what went wrong in your last attempt. And from the expert mentors at Wi-Fi, you can take their help, you can take their advices, and they will be giving you a lot of advices today in this session as well. And other than that, the session that we'll be conducting separately for the reset orientations, so you can take help from those. So now I want to proceed with the today's session ahead. First of all, as always, I introduce the entire Wi-Fi faculty to you. So, Sir Hassan Dosani, who is the SBL specialist at Wi-Fi, along with he is the head of brand ACCA brand as well here. With second is Ahmed Mumtaz, who basically is AA and AAA specialist at Wi-Fi, plus strategic planner at Wi-Fi as well. Then we have Taha Popatia, the AFM specialist at Wi-Fi for both the languages. And then it's Sania Asif, who deals with TX and ATX English language at Wi-Fi. Now, there is a new addition to our team this time, and Ramiz Arain has joined Wi-Fi for TX and ATX for Urdu and Hindi language. Sarami Ali Amanullah is for FR Urdu, uh, uh, teaching at Wi-Fi. Aisha Faisal deals with SBR and FR English language at Wi-Fi, followed by Amjad Hussain, who deals with SBR Urdu. And last, myself, dealing with PM, FM, and APM for both the languages. So this is our faculty. The new addition is Sir Amiz, who has just joined for September 24 attempt. Now, moving towards a very important segment as always, and is passing ratio. And surprisingly, there are so many papers you can also see in front of your screen where the passing ratio hasn't changed. So that's strange for me. And those tutors whose passing ratio were on a higher side last time and remained the same are definitely lucky. So the most luckiest person to start with is Sir Hassan. Again, SBL 52% remained the same. Sir, please, what's your comment in relation to SBL passing ratio?
Right. So as you can see that SBL has not changed, and it is in fact the it has got the highest passing ratio amongst all the strategic professional papers. So that's great news, right? So although the passing percentage has not changed, but this time when I saw the results, I noted something remarkable. This time around, there were so many cases where students have scored 70s, late 70s, 80s, and late 80s. A lot of students this time have scored in late 70s and late 80s. This trend I have never seen in the past. Yes, there are always few students, the top 10%, who used to score in 80s, but this time around, there has been at least three times increase. So, so the SBL result this time was fantastic. I also came across two or three cases where those students had scored in 20s in previous attempt, and in this attempt they scored in 60s. So these are two very unusual trend I saw in this SBL result this time around. So this is all very encouraging, very good news. And those of you who were not able to pass, it's all right. There will be another opportunity, another window. So we'll speak about that as we go along.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much for your quick input in relation to SBL. Let's move towards AFM. Sir Taha, if you can give your brief input in relation to the passing ratio of AFM, which again remained the same.
Okay, so I am audible.
Yes, yes, you are.
Okay. Once again, AFM passing ratio has remained on a higher side, and amongst the four optional exam papers, it is one of the highest, near to highest, you can say. Again, as Sir Hassan said, I have noticed something similar over here as well. Number of students who used to fail between 45 and 50 has reduced. So majority of the students with whom I have talked, if they have failed, it is below 45. Otherwise, the marks are above 55. So the 45 to 55 range, I have seen a reduction in that. And again, someone failed, it is below 45, or if they have passed, majority are above 55.
Okay. That's very nice, I would say, for AFM and overall result of AFM. Thank you very much, Sir Taha. I just want to give clarity to the students who are asking in the chat box, are these global passing ratios? So yes, these are ACCA official global passing ratios. Okay. Now moving towards AA and AAA. So Sir Ahmed, please give your input in relation to both AA and AAA passing ratios.
Okay, hello everyone, and a very good evening from my side. Double A has remained the same. It was 44%, which was a great number in the last quarter, and it is the same, which is very encouraging for all the students because even if you Google it, a couple of days ago, I just Googled this thing that which is the most difficult ACCA skill level paper, and the Google says, according to the research, it is double A. But now double A has, jumped up and it has remained the same 44%, which is a great news. And I think that has got a lot to do with the ACCA Study Hub content. As far as AAA is concerned, it used to be really pathetic, 31, 32%. And the year 2023 was a great year because it remained at 34%. For the March 2024 attempt, it was It was a massive jump to 38%. Fortunately for the AAA students, it is not as bad. It's 37%, just a minor dip. And I think moving forward, AAA is going to be, a more favorable paper now because the passing rate is jumping up. So, yeah, encouraging signs.
Okay, that's great. It's good news for AA students. Thank you very much for your input. Now moving towards FR and SBR. So, Aisha Faisal, if you can hear me, please.
Yes, I can hear you, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Please share your input in relation to passing ratio of both the papers.
Okay, so we can see FR is almost similar to last quarter. Last quarter was 52 and currently we are at 51. We can see that FR is generally on the easy, as a paper, it's on the easier side, and we can see it's right after tax. So I would say, keeping in mind the structure of FR paper, it's always at this decent bar, and it's matched up to last quarter as well. In terms of SBR, because SBR as a paper is also again testing IFRS like how FR is, but the whole style changes and the difficulty level changes. But still, I would say in the professional paper gang, I would say it's still a very decent pass percentage. Again, I would say it's right after SBL, right? So yes, SBR is also able to maintain the bar of last quarter. So it's good.
That's great. And these both are compulsory professional papers. And what I have observed in so many recent attempts when these papers were introduced, so since they have been introduced, both passing ratios have been on a very higher side. So lucky
That's
the tutors of these papers, because I can say that because I do teach APM and uh, I cannot say anything else
Okay.
about
yeah,
that.
that's right.
Okay. So moving towards Sania Asif and Sir Ramiz Arain, both I think are part of the session. Ma'am Sania, if you can give your input in relation to paper ATX, Advanced Taxation.
Hello, everyone. Is my voice audible?
Yes, ma'am, it's audible.
Okay, so sir, as you could see that this time round there is a little decrease in the pass percentage globally, because in the last quarter it was standing at 49%, but now it's been dropped to 47%. But still, there is not much gap if I compare it with the previous percentage, and it is still considered to be the highest percentage amongst the remaining optional papers. And if I could share the data that I had been able to grab from the students who had taken their advanced taxation exams, it's like the paper was easy. It was being tested on exactly the same pattern it used to be tested before. Is just that the same problems they had to face, that the most of the people couldn't have been able to manage the paper on time. Otherwise, I would consider it to be like it's like done on the consistent basis. It is like to be treated as the same percentage as we have seen before. So I think giving a margin that it is still on the highest side, the advanced taxation exam was like done. It was handled perfectly by the students.
Okay, great. Thank you very much for your input. Now moving towards taxation, Sir Ramiz, if you can hear me, please confirm and give your quick input in relation to TX passing ratio.
Ji, Assalamu alaikum students. Am I audible to all?
Yes, you are.
Thank you very much, everyone. My feedback on the paper of taxation is that in the past few attempts, the passing ratio of taxation is increasing. As you see that in the last attempt, the passing ratio of taxation was 53%, and it is now increased by 2%, and now it is 55%. And it is one of the highest passing ratio in the skill module. As you see, the other papers like PM, FR, AAFM, and the other papers, taxation have the highest passing ratio because the main impact to the student to pass this paper is basically its calculation-based approach. As I always told the students that the calculation-based approach of taxation is make this paper easier to clear as compared to the other papers. Most of the students afraid from this that the course is very lengthy and there are multiple rules and regulations, and how can we memorize those rules and regulations. This is the main important question of the students, that I've always told them that the course is lengthy, but you need to only remind or only review the solution and the formulas of that paper, because the paper is calculation based. You don't need to write from yourself, you just need to memorize the rules and apply in the paper. So that is why the paper is easier to clear. And as it shows that I already told you that in the last few attempts the passing ratio of TX is increasing, slow and steady, but it is increasing, and it is one of the most highest passing ratio in the skill module also.
Okay, great for and it's really again good news for all the taxation tutors, Ma'am Sania, Ramesh. The passing ratio of TX is on the higher side, and again, I'm on the other side of the story. So now I'll give a quick input in relation to my papers. Performance management, I can say, has the lowest passing ratio in the entire skill papers, if you can see. So, but from last time, in the worst part, I would say for this attempt is it has gone down by 3 percentage points, and that's not very good, I would say. Last time the passing ratio was really high, and I think that was the highest one I have seen for performance management. The best part for me and something that made my day is APM, which went up from 33 to 37%. That's really good, and I've seen the results. You know, it was just 3% if you see on the paper, but I received so many messages that we have passed our advanced performance management paper. So that was really good to see. Then financial management is again on a higher side. As always, the passing ratio remained constant in relation to financial management. Sir Amjad has just joined us. Sir Amjad, if you can give your quick input relation to SBR paper. What do you think about this SBR?
So I think I'm audible.
Yes.
I actually have joined, but my video just appeared. I was not
No
allowed to
problem.
share my video right now.
Yeah,
SPR paper is more or less showing the same sort of results which was previously shown. As far as SBR is concerned, I believe this paper is a bit difficult and bit easier for students depending upon the preparation they have done. And that's, I think, all for SBR papers. The only thing is students need to understand the application of standards and how they can apply those standards to the scenarios. That's the main idea behind it. And
okay.
overall, SBR performance remains same. It's not increasing. It shows the same result that was in the previous quarter.
Okay, thank you very much, all the faculty members, to share your input in relation to the global passing ratios. And as far as VIFHE passing ratios are concerned, what we have observed today, we have seen a lot of students who have passed, and I'm very much sure that our passing ratios, once we will gather the data, will be above these global passing ratios. So now it's time to move towards the next important segment as always. Again, we had a huge list of students who scored really high marks in June 24 attempt, but we again had to restrict to few students, and I would request the entire faculty as well. Once they will interact with their respective students. So keep it simple, short, and the most important questions, if as a tutor we know what to ask from these students, so that will definitely be very useful for all those students who will listen later on and who are right now in the session as well. So let's start with performance management. There were two students who managed to secure the same marks, so that's why we had to publish their names. Mohammad Salim, who secured 79, and Mohammad Abdus Samad secured 79. One is from Pakistan and one is from Saudi Arabia. Unfortunately, both are not available in today's session. So congratulations to both these students. for securing really good marks in paper for performance management. Moving towards to SBL, wow, 87. I've seen a lot of 80s in SBL already. So we have one student right now, Ananya. Sir Hassan, if you can please continue from here. Team will just add Ananya in the co-host list.
Right. Ananya, can you start your video? Hi, Ananya. Unmute
Hello,
yourself,
sir.
please.
Good
Yeah.
evening.
How are you? Good to see you.
I'm very good, sir. How are you?
You are all, bright and cheerful after scoring 87 in SBL.
Yes, sir. This is the highest I've gotten in any ACC paper. So,
Wow. All right. So it's not easy to score such high in SBL, so that's a big achievement. So, Ananya, first of all, tell us, are you a working person or a full-time student?
sir, I'm a full-time student.
Full-time. Did you give one paper or more than one paper in June?
I gave one paper.
Right, right. So, during your preparation phase, especially the last 30 days, what was your strategy? What things you were focusing on? Like how much theory, how much practicing, how much mock practice?
So in the last 30 days, I focused on the top 25 notes, the PDF you shared with us, and the 6 to 7 full case study questions we did in the class. I did them twice under timed conditions, and I used to
Wow.
revise the bullet points like regularly. And in the last week, I used the pre-seen Bible you gave us. It was like the most useful document for SBL for anyone. So that I used, and along with that, just I kept on revising the bullet points from the question we did in the classes.
Excellent. So what I hear differently is that in the last 30 days, you solved all the 7, 8 questions we did in the class. You solved them not once, but twice under time conditions. That's crazy. That's mad. Wow.
So
All
let me
right.
always
So,
emphasize that SBL is like very.
yeah. And what about the exam, the 3 hours and 15 minutes? How did you manage your time? What things you focused on? Can you just guide some important things which helped you score 87?
So I first went through all the requirements and I started with the one which was the easiest to me. So I did the easiest questions first, and the bouncer question I left them for the last. And even if in a question I got stuck, I left it and moved to the other one. So I at least attempted all the tasks once.
Right. So you actually followed all the techniques. You didn't stressed out. How did you manage the
No, sir.
stress?
Sir, SBL was like the only exam I was able to complete like 20 minutes before in the professional level. So it was like relatively easy.
Excellent. That's amazing story. Amazing. So, so what will be your top 2 or 3 advice to the fellow students who are now planning for September?
First is like practice questions, because just reading theory is not going to do anything, and practice them under time conditions. Like instead of 1.8 minutes per marks, make it 1.5. And second is don't stress too much on pre-scene, because like from the pre-scene they gave you, nothing much comes. It's just a background of the industry. So even in the last 2 to 3 days, continue with your regular revisions.
Excellent, excellent. Ananya, thank you so much for joining at such a short notice and sharing your experience. Once again, congratulations from the entire VIFHE team. and stay in touch, right?
Thank you so much, Alec. It was all your efforts and all the live classes.
Our pleasure. Anytime. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the input, Ananya. Now moving towards ATX, Ahmed Nadeem managed to score 78 marks. Ahmed Nadeem is with us, and Ma'am Sania is also with us. So over to you, Ma'am Sania.
Hi, Ahmed, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. First of
Yes.
all, congratulations to you on securing 78 marks. That's really a great achievement as far as advanced taxation exam is concerned. So the first thing that I would like to ask you, that in the first place, why did you choose advanced taxation out of all optional exams? I mean, you could have gone for any other paper, but what actually let you opt for advanced taxation?
Thank you so much. First of all, I would like to congratulate all the students out there who have just passed their respective exams, especially the ones mentioned in the list. Why I chose ATX is because I am looking forward to pursue ICAW, and with AAA and ATX, students they get exemptions from the 12 papers out of 15. So that's why I chose ATX basically.
Okay. So, could you please tell us that what was your strategy towards studying advanced taxation? I mean, how much time did you use to allocate to covering your notes, watching the recorded sessions, and what level of practice you have done before appearing in the exam?
Right. So everyone knows that syllabus of ATX is diverse. Like it's not the kind of subjects that you can actually cover up in just a period of 1 month. So I actually started taking my lectures around 2.5 months before the my attempt, and I broke down the total recording timings into 100 minutes per day actually. So I wanted to make sure that I'm done with the entire recording sessions, including the live sessions, by around 10th or 12th of May. And after that, I went on to practicing the past papers. And of course, your cooperation was like super helpful. I remember I used to ask you like stupid questions, and you were like really cooperative in answering all the questions. So thanks to you.
They were not thanks to you on securing 78 marks. That's quite a lot, but they were not stupid. It actually gives you an idea that at what level the student is trying to prepare himself for appearing in the exam.
Right.
One more question, Ahmed. Could you please tell that how many questions out of your exam kit you prepared before appearing in the exam? I mean, did you practice all the questions which are given in the kit? Because if we compare the exam of taxation or advanced taxation with the rest of the papers, it is these two are the only papers where straightaway past exam attempts are not to be used. We have to rely on the revision kit because in them the questions have been adapted according to the latest standard, but the students are always concerned that what has to be their strategy. Do they need to go through each and every question, or if they do 25 to 30 questions which are the important ones, that's like going to help them in passing their exam? What is your take on this?
Well, if you look at the index of Kaplan exam kit, each chapter has at least like 5 to 6 questions in the exam kit. So you must do at least 2 to 3 questions from each chapter, from each category of the syllabus. And I think that's more than enough because after 2 to 3 questions, you seem to find similarities between the question, and that makes you well prepared for the final exam.
Exactly. So technically, to all those students who remain concerned that whether they have to go through each and every question as far as advanced taxation is concerned, that's a very relieving point that even going through 30 to 40% of the total revision kit, you may score really well, just like what you have done. So congratulations once again, and thank you so much for being a part of this session.
Thanks to you, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now moving towards to the next paper, that is AFM, 86 marks. Very good, very high marks, Anita. So Taha, you please take from
All right,
here.
sir. Sure, sir. Anita, are you
Yes,
available?
please. Yes, please. I'm
All right.
available.
Can you please turn the webcam on if possible for
And
you?
I can't. I'm in transit.
Okay.
Um,
So, Anita, first of all, big congratulations for getting 86 marks in AFM. This is
Thank you
truly
so much.
amazing and sets a new bar, new target for someone who will be giving the paper now. So, first, I want to know basically what actually you did in these 3 months, which is a differentiating factor. Anything which differentiates you from others or some secret plan that you were following.
Um, because I had to do two papers, I had to organize myself very well so that I can give time to both of them. But mainly, I followed your advice. I covered the portal almost fully, and then I think an extra thing I did is I was typing everything. Every number I did, I typed it. There's no number where I didn't type. Yeah.
All right. So you had two papers, correct? AAA and
Yes,
AFM,
please.
and you did
Yes,
both
please.
of these exams. That's great. Okay. Can you tell me that the content on the portal, is it sufficient for someone, or if someone is doing the VIFHE portal, they still need to refer to some kit and do the kits as well?
No, 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 they don't need. If you have a VP portal, that content is enough for you to pass that examination.
All right, everything available is sufficient, correct? And
Yes, please.
can you tell me that whether the mock that we actually conducted, was the feedback from the mock helpful for you?
Yes, please. It was very helpful because I remember that's when you got to tell me that my writing was not professional enough, and then that's when I got to work on my format and my writing so as to gain the professional marks. So if it wasn't for the mock, I don't think I would have gotten as high as I got.
All right, so mock exam is very important, correct? One last
Yes,
thing,
please.
importance of past paper. Is it better to do the same recent again and again, like
Yes,
doing
please.
past papers is good, or shall we refer to some other content?
No, it's best to exactly
Doing
that.
past
The
papers,
recent past papers over and over again. Yes, please.
okay. All right. Now, finally, any recommendation, any suggestion for the upcoming attempt to students, those who are giving exams in September or December? Any words that you have, any words of advice, any suggestions for them?
Yes, I think I suggest that they should follow, if they are students, your students, they should follow your plans, like follow it to the dot, because if you follow Mr. Taha's plan, you automatically pass. The portal and everything he tells you to do is a perfect alignment for you to pass.
All right. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for attending the session and coming live. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Over to you, Sir Rizwan.
Yes, thank you very much for the input. Moving towards advanced performance management, APM, favor secured 78 marks in advanced performance management, APM, which is again a very, very good score as far as APM is concerned, considering the passing ratio of APM. Favor, I think you are in the session as well.
Yes. Hi,
Okay.
sir. Good evening.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Thank you.
Congratulations on securing 78 marks in advanced performance management. So it's a big achievement. Very quickly, what uh, key three things that you can mention here that gave you such a big achievement for APM?
Okay, yes, sir. First of all, I attended all the lectures. I did not miss any of the live sessions that we had. And
Okay.
and I also submitted all my assignments and I took them off. So yeah, so the first key point for me was attending all your lectures, watching all the videos and doing the assignments, submitting the assignments on time, and then working on my feedback. Then secondly, I did not use any study material. I only used Study Hub alongside your notes. So that was what I used. That's second Study Hub. Study Hub is like a game changer for me. Because like, it's so concise and your videos were also concise. So it just works hand in hand together. And then finally, I did a lot of practice questions on the practice platform. So
Okay.
yeah, that's yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned a few things that students need to know. First of all, you watched all the recorded lectures. That was the most important thing because uh, that were concise to the point, so that saved your time. Number two, you did all the assignments, which is very important for any paper like APM where drafting is very important. And third, you did use study hub content as well, which is concise and to the point as well. So,
Yes, sir.
okay, now just tell me what you did specially for drafting the answers. So you used to write the entire answers or just few bullet points. So how you practiced in relation to drafting the answers?
Okay, yes. So yeah, how I practiced was so I realized that in APM, a lot of times we tend to write off things. So
Okay.
I like okay, when I read the question, I put bullet points in my own like in my own rough paper, and then I now start to like draft. And then I always after while drafting, I always go back to the questions again to read the questions to ensure that I'm in line with what is being asked. And then for every point I make, I always justify my points. Like no matter what I write, I always write because or like as a result of like all the kind of terms that helps to justify every point that I make. So I think that was what really made me stand out in my answering technique. So first of all, I write out the points in my own rough note, and then I draft, and then I go back to read the questions again to be sure that I'm in line, and then I justify my points. Yeah.
Okay. So the key thing that you just mentioned here was the justification. So whatever you were writing, you were justifying that point, and which is very important for any APM exam or for a consultant to make sure that whatever you write, you have to justify your point. Yes, there is no one right answer in APM. The approach or the justification that you are giving should be the right justification. So thank you very much, Favor, for your input, and it's a huge achievement. Best of luck for your remaining papers if there are any, or for your future career in your corporate world.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Okay, thank you very much. Next, we have Mohammed Hamad, who secured 84 marks in financial management. He is from Pakistan. Unfortunately, he is also not available in today's session, which is again a very huge achievement. Financial management 84 from Pakistan. Moving towards double A, Sir Ahmed, I think the student is not here. If you can just give any input in relation to on behalf of this student who secured 73 in double A.
Okay, guys, 73 in double A is as good as 85 in a paper which is numerical based or more aligned towards the numerical side. And literally few moments ago, I checked her her chat history, and I realized that yes, she attempted the mock exam. And I have been saying this for a while now that you need to score good score in section A, though it's not mandatory to pass the section A in order to pass the overall exam. Yes, it's a myth and it's a misconception which has been wrongly spread. There is no such rule in ACCA that you have to pass double A, you have to pass the section A at any cost in order to overall pass the exam. I think that rule has got nothing to do with any ACC exam, let alone AA. So I was just checking her mock exam again. So she scored 26 out of 30 in section A, and she was one of those students who actually submitted all the assignment. And well, anyone who wished to crack the AA on Monday, 2nd September 2023, AA and AAA, I think the recipe is very simple and very straightforward. It's a discussion based paper where you have to develop your point. It is, as Sir Ramiz was saying, for the paper taxation, that students, this is a straightforward paper because you're not supposed to be creative. You don't have to think out of the box. So you have to keep it simple. But when it comes to AA and AAA, you have to justify your point, you have to develop your point, and you need to understand why you scored one rather than available two marks, or maybe why you scored just half mark instead of available 1 or 2 marks. So it's a discussion based paper. You need an expert tutor, let it be anyone, and you need to make sure your assignments are regularly marked. You need to receive a constructive feedback on that, which will eventually lead you towards the mock exam, and which will eventually lead you towards the glory on the exam day. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your feedback, Ahmed. It was very detailed and yeah, to the point as well. Now, moving towards Aisha, ma'am Aisha, if you can just give your quick input in relation to this student, Aisha Javed, because she's not now in the session, maybe some connection issue, I think. So if you can just give a quick input if on her behalf, if you remember her as a student and anything that you can share with us.
So the deal with SBR paper is that it has a lot of standards. So one has to remember under every standard what are the provisions of that standard, and one needs to develop a strategy for that, because recalling all those standards on the exam day cannot happen without some trick. So for sure, Aisha had developed a strategy around this. She had keynotes prepared, which were her trigger points, which helped her recall the standard provisions, and she was able to formulate her answer basis that. So that's one key point. If you want to formulate your answer in SBR, if you want to link your memory to the textbook, it's very important to have trigger points ready. Aisha, is your mic working? Because I can see you're acknowledging in the chat. Can you join? Okay. So as far as question practice was concerned, one of the major things is that how many questions to practice prior to the exam. And you also, I'm sure all the students are trying to set up a target and trying to touch the target. So is the case with Aisha. Hello Aisha, and first of all, congratulations on getting such a great score.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. So Aisha, one thing that I would want to know from you is that did you have a target set prior to the exam, that how many questions you would want to crack? Because you know that SBR is discursive element, you need to have a plan in place, right? So one, did you have a plan in place for the number of questions? And second, were you able to reach that target?
Yes, ma'am. I had planned to finish my Kaplan kit, but I didn't have that much time to finish all the questions. So I did the selective question that were on the portal.
Okay, so you did the selective questions that were available on the portal. So the one good key takeaway from Aisha is that it's probably not necessary to 100% cover the kit. But if we cater the necessary or the important questions, I think we are still at a very good place in the exam, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Second thing I want to know from you is that while you were practicing the Q&A, while you were practicing the questions, did you use the CBET platform? Did you use the Microsoft Word and Excel, or did you use a combination? How did you manage your practice?
Ma'am, I used the CBEPT platform for the practice question.
Okay. One important eye-opener for everyone, because some of the students, unfortunately, are not even aware of the ACCA CBEPT platform. It's a platform which is a replica of the real exam. So it has the same look and feel, guys. So please, the ones who are able to pass, the ones who are able to get good scores, are the ones who are going and drilling question answers on the CBEPT. So again, a second key takeaway for all of us. Next, during the exams, Aisha, did you have a strategy? Did you, target certain questions first, and did you keep certain questions for the last, or did you just happen to do in the natural order? Question 1, question 2, question 3.
Ma'am, I did the question in the natural order, because I think I was just reading whatever the question was coming. But the thing is, the question I was finding hard, I was moving to the next question. I was not spending extra time on that question. I was leaving it as much as I knew. I typed in and I just moved to the next question. I
Okay.
make sure I didn't time. Don't spend extra time on any question.
Okay. That's the best thing. That's the best thing you have done, because even if you end up leaving anything, that's the last element would be the one that you already didn't know anyway, right? So
Yes.
missing something that you know is the greatest regret, right? So yes, again, guys, one more thing, that please, have the strategy not just for, again, SBR, but any paper. I think almost all the tutors would agree to this, that keep the difficult element for the last, rather than investing your crucial time at the beginning on it. So yes, thank you, Aisha, so much for your important, feedback over this. Sir Rizwan,
Thank
over to
you.
you now.
Thank you very much, everyone, and all these top scorers of VIFHE. They have done a great job. So I hope whatever feedback they have given to all the other listeners who are listening right now, who will listen later on in huge numbers from our YouTube channel, they will definitely benefit from all these inputs and feedbacks. Thank you very much, the entire faculty and these students. Now moving towards a very important segment, and that is question and answer session. Once again, some house rules I need to tell you people. We will not be able to take all the questions because the questions are always very much. So the floor is now open. You guys can post your question in the chat box. Kindly just look at the chat box and I will try our best to answer your questions one by one. Do make sure that you don't ask any repetitive questions, the one that you have already done. So kindly don't repeat that, or someone else has asked some other question. So kindly don't repeat that question. Okay. So you can now start asking the questions in the chat box and any paper. So we will direct the question to that respective tutor. Okay, now let's start. First of all, it's for triple A and Sir Ahmed. Uh, the question is much. There is some much difference in triple A September. I mean, she means to say that any change in triple A if gives in September, and Ahmed Samir is asking for quick advice because he failed triple A twice. So you can please answer both the queries.
Okay, adding one more to it, in whenever ACCA has to come up with any change, it is always applicable from the September attempt. And for double A, there is not even 1% change. For triple A, there is hardly 1% change. No change in the marking scheme, no change in the exam format. Slight a bit of a twist in a particular area of the study guide. So 99.99% it remains the same. Second question from Ahmed. Okay, if you have failed triple A twice, well, that's unfortunate, but you have to answer a few questions. Did you attempt all the assignments? Were you part of any batch? Were you honest with yourself by making sure that your work was critically evaluated by some expert tutor? So this is the this is the decisive factor. Well, you have to apply a cutoff. Looking forward, you've got 30-40 days and you can crack this paper with flying colors. You just have to make sure you join the batch, make sure your assignments are marked. You have to submit the assignment on a timely basis. Make sure you are going to attempt the VIFHE's extremely important mock exam, and eventually you'll be able to crack the paper.
Okay. Thank you very much. Over to Taha. Taha, if you can please answer a question from Temwa. He failed AFM at 49. What different he should do to pass this paper?
All right, again, there are some basic things about AFM. Number one, just get a very, very brief idea of concept. Don't
Uh,
go into in-depth knowledge. No need to go into the concepts in detail. Then you have to focus on the past papers a lot. So do a lot of past papers. If you have failed on 49, you can do a particular past paper and show it to me. I will check it and let you know your problems.
Okay. Thank you very much. Mehran Habib is asking a question about SBR. SBR is only left. Sir Amjad, if you can quickly answer, is SBR possible in September with 3 hours of study plan each day?
I think 3 hours study is enough, but you need to ensure that in the last 15 days, you should be taking much more time to get yourself prepared, especially when you are reviewing your exam kit. So you need to ensure that you'll have a strong grip over certain topic areas which are important to the exam. So those will be discussed once you will get enrolled. I'll be providing you further details which topic areas are more important, and you need to have more understanding grip on those topic areas. So as of now, 3 hours is a good time for preparing SPR paper, but in last 15 days, you need to ensure that you have to spare some extra time to make your preparation in order to ensure that you pass the paper.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Haram Tariq has a question for Sir Hassan. SBL notes, sir, are enough or book or study hub as well?
Right. So for SBL, the notes are more than enough. No need for any book, no need for any revision kit, no need for the hub, right? You just few minutes back heard the Ananya who scored 87 saying that top 25 is more than enough. The reason is 50% of the paper is common sense paper. And it is all application-based paper, not a knowledge-based paper. So just focus on the summarized notes and do more practice instead.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. One question about FM. The student is a self-study student. So I think if you're a self-study student and you did tried yourself and you got 45, yeah, the webinars are there. You can use the webinars of financial management available on our channel. But again, I would want you to be part of some reset or a crash batch. Reason being, you have already tried yourself. So this means it's good that you just learn with a proper strategy that we'll share. That's my input. But if you feel like that things are already in your mind, you don't need any classes. So then work on your weaker areas more. Do read examiner report to get an idea where you are lacking, and you can use our webinars always. Okay. So moving towards another question, and that relates to double A. Sir Ahmed, a student, Mohammed Abbas, is mentioning that failed at 47 in the first attempt. What can you guide in relation to double A now?
Mohammed
Sir,
Abbas is saying my cousin failed at
yeah.
47. Okay, well, I can guide a lot about this relationship, to be very honest, but on a more serious note, on a more serious note, okay, let me tell you a difference between the crash batch and the revision batch, or for that matter, the regular batch. At VIFHE, the regular and the reset batch, if you're going to join the regular, or for that matter, after result, if you're going to join the reset batch, you've got the opportunity to attempt the assignments. And with the help of assignments, your work is evaluated by the relevant tutor, let it be AFM, let it be APM, or let it be double A. So as a result of that, slowly but surely, over the period of a month, you are in a great position to attempt the final mock exam, which eventually leads to the success. Crash batch or the revision batch it's a bit riskier. Why I'm saying that? Because you won't be able to attempt the assignments because it starts a bit late. So as a result of that, I think your cousin has to reassess the situation, and he or she needs to contact me, and we'll make sure that the student is going to join the reset batch and Monday, 2nd September is going to be a successful day.
Okay. Thank you very much. Sana Hussain, your question in relation to PM, that you failed PM 4 times. Now, yeah, that's a huge number. But again, don't be disheartened. I know it's difficult, and you managed to score more than 45. So the best thing is that you're very close to 50, which means you are doing some silly mistakes again and again, because you do manage to secure or get more than 45 marks. I would advise you to definitely consult with me directly or take my reset orientation, the timetable I'll share today. In that, I will be focusing on common failures which students do in their examination that results in a failure. So do join that reset orientation. That will further guide you, and you can further get an input in relation to that. Okay. Moving towards another student failed for APM 49. Now you have just 2 sittings, so yeah, that's really important to consider. Now 49, it's very near, just 1 mark away. People might think of changing the paper when it comes to optional papers, but again, I would say just give one more try, because you are very near. Now what different you have to do is you should read the examiner reports for APM, the latest ones, and secondly, you have to practice the answers more and more. The drafting is extremely important. For that, you can refer to my webinars available on the YouTube channel. And also, I would advise to join the reset orientation for further guidance in relation to APM. Okay. The next question is in relation to triple A. Okay. Bilal Ashfaq is asking about the triple A revision course like SBL. Yeah, it's a bit different, but obviously it also focus on key areas when it comes to triple A revision course, and also the question practice that the sir will share with you. Again, that is important. So again, the focus of any revision course at VIFHE is over the important areas that are likely to be tested in the examination, plus with the most important top up of mock and debrief, and the feedback that you get on your mock is same as it is for SBL. So definitely it can help you to succeed in your upcoming exam. Okay, now moving towards another question. Okay, for discounts, Divisha, I think you can contact the support team. They are in a better position to explain you regarding the discount percentage and everything. Okay. Yeah, Ahmed, you can join reset batch of VIFHE. There's no compulsion that you should be part of VIFHE before. If you are not part of VIFHE and you want the reset batch of VIFHE, I'll explain very soon today what reset batch is offering. So you can join our reset batch without any problem. Okay. Okay, one question for APM. I've started ACCA after 10 years of last qualification, did SBL with Sir Hassan Notes. Wow. And APM with Sir Rizwan Sir, SPR, APM is next. Okay, if you appear in December, definitely if you join the batch, all the necessary basic knowledge that is needed through the recorded content will be covered for you. And you won't face any problem. Yeah, time span is big, but don't worry. The way we structure our content, you can recall things very easily without any problem. Okay, you are asking for AFM. Okay, great. So yeah, I think Taha would agree with me that yeah, if you join, it definitely AFM. The content, the way we've structured the content, it will definitely allow you to brush up all the important things. Okay. Okay, Jamshed Arshad, for performance management, taking 2 hours for preparation is enough. Now, first of all, if you have given this paper before, so basically it's the revision basically that you need, and you have to practice and focus on your weak areas. So in that case, I would not say 2 hours or 3 hours or 4 hours are enough, but yes, I will say that minimum 2.5 hours you have to start spending from now onwards. And as you move on, you have to spend more time, because it all depends on the practice that you need. So if you feel like that there are so many things that you still need to recall, So then you have to increase your time. 2 hours is not max for me. It's the minimum that you will start from. Okay, Divisha has a question for Sir Ahmed. Sir Ahmed, if she joins the reset batch now and the live classes have been missed, so how would you guide her?
Okay, first of all, I would like to answer another query that if you are not part of the WIFHE and now your result is out, can you join the reset batch? Well, you can. You are more than welcome to join the reset batch. Reset batch means it's a batch which we start right after the ACCA result. So the timeline is shorter, but you are more than welcome, even if you did not study the same paper earlier from the WIFHE. Secondly, yes, you can join the reset batch. Yes, out of the 6 assignments, you might have missed couple of them. Definitely, you might have and you would have missed couple of live classes. But at WIFHE, we recognize that we are well, majority of the students are working professionals, so there are different time zones. So if I'm saying good evening, there is a huge possibility some of them might be having some good morning at their point of time. So as a result of that, all the live sessions for all the subjects are always recorded. So if you're going to join my batch, the live sessions which you have missed would be available to you as a recorded lecture. Don't worry, you're covered.
Okay, Ahmed, quickly, can you answer? Ibad, he wants to start double A, and it seems that it's first time for him. So should he join September or December batch?
Okay, if you're a full-time student and if you're going to allocate 5 hours per day for the next, straight 30 days, 35, 150 hours, yes, absolutely yes. If you're not a full-time student and if you're working for 8 hours plus 2 hours of commute, well, it's a challenging ask to start any paper as a fresh paper from today onwards. So it depends.
Okay.
Are you from Pakistan or not?
Okay. Thank you very much. Divisha, already I've mentioned that you will get the details about the discount and everything from support team. So you can contact them and they will definitely help you in this regard. Temwa, yes, you will also get the details of recent batch of AFM from the support team, so you can contact them. One important question that is coming to my mind, and I just wanted to ask, especially for two papers. It's important for all the papers, but especially for the two strategic professional compulsory papers. In every September, there is a minor change in the syllabus. So as far as PM, FM, and APM is concerned, there is no change as such. Sir Ahmed already mentioned that there is no change for AA and AAA. Sir Hassan, what do you think? Is there any change in September 24 as far as SBL is concerned?
Sir, not really. There is no change in September in SBL's syllabus.
Okay, great. Ma'am Aisha, what do you think? Is there any change in SBR?
No, not really again. SBR is also pretty much consistent. No change as such.
Okay, great. Thank you very much for your input. I just want to ask quickly from Ma'am Sania, any change in ATX?
No, sir. No change is expected to happen as far as advanced taxation is concerned. It will change for June 2025 attempt.
Okay, great. Taha, any change in AFM?
No, sir, it is consistent, no change.
Okay. And Ramiz, if you can just comment for TX, any change? Okay, I think it's not available. Ma'am Sania, can you give your input for TX, please?
Uh, Just like advanced taxation is going to change in this June 2025 attempt. Before that, no one needs to worry at all. And if anyone who has not been able to make up for either advanced taxation or taxation in their June attempt, they would try to strive for retaking their exams in September or December or even till March, because afterwards they will have to make an effort once again, because of course the things are going to get changed.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Jamshed Arshad has a question in relation to AAA. Sir Ahmed, he has experience of audit firm. So does that experience help him in the preparation of AAA?
Yes, why not? It is going to be a helping hand, but the AAA examiner is not going to assume that you have got a certain, a number of work experience. So, yes, it will help. Maybe you'll be able to understand things relatively quickly. Your professional language will play a vital role in the 20 professional skill marks. But at the same time, you can't be complacent about things. And you need to, do the basics right. You need to attempt the assignment. You need to make sure your mock is evaluated. You need to cover the lectures and attend the live sessions.
Okay. Fatma Sultan, you were not able to pass FM in your first attempt. Now your question is, should you reset F9 or give F5? Now, see, it's a good question actually, and it does confuse students. What I suggest is that if you can give both the papers, that's ideal, that's perfect. It all depends how much good coverage you have done right now for PM, and how much you can recall FM now. So if you can give both the papers, that's ideal, that's best. It depends on the time you have. But if you're like, no, I don't want to take more risk, then go with one paper and the one that you right now think is best for you in terms of recalling the concepts when it comes to FM or your current coverage of PM. So whichever paper you are more confident about, I would advise you to go with that paper. Okay. Okay, that's it. I think there are a lot of comments in relation to the discounts and everything. So I would again explain everything in detail now. Moving towards uh, the other segment. One important announcement: all the students who are right now here and they wanted to ask further questions, so you can ask questions in respective reset orientations that are to be held. So now I just want to announce a few important things. The reset course, let me give you clarity about that. This is same as your normal regular course. There's nothing different about it. Okay. When it comes to the content, it's same. When it comes to the live classes, it's same. When it comes to the assignments, the mocks, everything is same exactly, except the price is not the same, and we are offering this at a discount of up to 50% depending on your situation and condition. Reset is very much same. It's exactly same as the regular batch, as I mentioned. One thing I need to tell you, those live classes that have already been conducted, so you will get the recordings of those live classes, and the one that are still to be held, you can join those live classes live without any problem. Uh, then if you now those students who think that okay, I need to get part of the reset course and continue the same momentum like a regular course, then this is the batch for you people, right? The remaining live classes you can take, the remaining assignments to be held, you can be part of that, and everything will be same. But those who are like, no, the concepts are good in my mind, I just need to focus on important areas, so you can join the revision course, which is approximately to start from 5th of August. That revision course includes important areas compared to reset. Reset includes all the things, but the revision course will include important areas. And yes, one thing very important, it does include mocks, which is common when it comes to reset or it's the revision course. So mocks are part of both the courses with both the marking facility and everything. Okay. So those who want to be specific, they can join the revision course, which is approximately starting from 5th of August. So I hope I have made this clear. You can contact the support team for the details. Now, the reset orientations that will be held after 2 days. You can see the timetable on your screen. Day one is PM, FM, AAA, SBR, Urdu, SBL, and double A. The timings are all available in front of your screen. It's GMT4, UAE Standard Time. Okay. Day two is APM and TX Urdu. Day three, it's ATX Urdu, ATX English, and TX English and AFM. Day 4, it's SBR English, FR English, and day 5 is FR Urdu. So if you're confused about days, so the dates are also mentioned starting from 18th till 22nd July. Okay. Now, one important thing that students do ask a lot that I will ask Sir Hassan to answer, and other than that, he will end the session on his closing message as well. Guys, this is the contact details. You can contact us through our website, our social media, and you can contact our team as well. From my side, congratulations to all the students who managed to pass this attempt. Those who were not able to, please just continue with the same momentum. It's just a professional exam. It's not the end of the world that you start crying over these things. Yes, rearrange, regroup yourself, join these orientations for further idea that where you are doing wrong, and change your strategy, and for sure you will succeed. Now, my question that I want Sir Hassan to first answer, and then his closing message. The question is, lot of students do ask us every time uh, that the research student, I'm basically focusing on those students that they, once they want to join the research batch, so the course is completely available to them. Now, because they've studied any paper before, let it be SBL, so should they follow the same sequence of the content that is available, or they should target the difficult areas and the one that they are not confident about? So should they revise everything or specific things? Sir, please, if you can give your input in relation to this very important question, and then you can just share your closing note as well. This is Rizwan Mania. I'm signing off. Over to Sir Hassan for these two things. Thank you very much.
Right, sir. So the question which you ask is in relation to SBL or in general?
Give in general, and taking SBL as an example, that would be okay.
Right. So those students who are joining the reset batch are basically joining midway, and you don't have a lot of time between now and the exam, right? Most of you are also working, so that is an additional challenge. So if for SBL, I always suggest students to adopt a smart approach, focus on important areas first, and then do the less important area later on, rather than going in the exact sequence of the videos or the chapters, right? So you will need to, reach out to the respective tutor to prioritize your topics so that you can maximize within the limited time. So that's what I call a smart approach. And as far as the closing remarks is concerned, the June attempt is one of the better attempts. The passing ratios have gone up, the average marks have gone up. So it's really unfortunate that students who were not able to pass in June, you missed an opportunity in one sense. But obviously, these are professional exams. You must have screwed up somewhere knowingly or unknowingly. So what's done is done. And I think that because of the social media and various WhatsApp group, a lot of students, they chat amongst themselves, and there is information overload. You get to hear so many things from fellow students. I can tell you half of them is bullshit. You must only reach out to a professional teacher on the subject, and you must ignore the noise around you, right? Because that is not credible information. Only your teacher will be able to analyze your weakness, understand your problem, and give you a tailored solution. So we at VIFHE, we are more than happy to help all of you guys. Even if you are a self-study student, it doesn't matter. VIFHE provides a lot of resources for self-study students as well. So please stay in touch and try to identify your mistake with the help of your tutor, and ignore the advices or intelligent ideas being shared by students who themselves have not cleared the paper, right? Stay focused, gather your motivation. That's very important. Gather your motivation, stand up again, and try to nail it in September, right? So with that, I really thank all of you for joining today's webinar. Stay in touch and all the very best for your September attempt. Thank you so much.